Hello Internet. Today we have GoPro Hero Black 11 that will not power on. I don't have battery because the seller is a cheapskate, but it should work only on USB supply. So let's connect the USB and see what is going on. So it's drawing 1 amp at 5 volts. And no reaction to power button. So let's get you closer. I've already pried the screen because this is the way you go in from the back. GoPro made sure you won't repair this because they glue it very good. I can show you how they did it. So basically, where you have the case, it goes like this and it goes down. There's a lip like this. This is the rest of the camera body. It is like this view. And then the screen has a slight bend. It comes like this, that, and here you have the groove, and it goes like that. Because this is the cutout for the LCD, and here you have a rubber bit. So the glue is over here and here, and this pushes to this. So to open it, you need to pry with something thin, like a razor, from the top, pour some IPA, and bend this like this. And you work around all the way until this comes loose. And you have two connections that unplugs like a little Lego, and the screen is loose. You can also take off the battery door, and now we can go deeper. It's probably a good idea not to mix the screws. Yeah, they are different, so definitely don't mix them. This is moving. Tape. This connector is probably the next thing that should come out. I will soften the glue with APA. Okay, so there was a connector from the bottom that unplugged by itself. This is the battery connector. So now what's next? We can see part of the board, so we can check if we still got the short. We've unplugged the display. Yes, still drawing 1 amp. So we need to remove the board. Let's disconnect the top board. Also the display tape. the display flex. There was one screw under the flex. You can also disconnect the sensor. I think we need to remove the USB port. Probably need to remove this, and then this metal part will go out. It's some kind of Torx, smaller one, even smaller, so it's T5 Torx. Maybe I can try unscrew this board, even smaller Torx, T4. There's no access to this screw. Let me just check this capacitor. Can you see the voltmeter? This one is fine, the smaller ones. Okay, so the short must be on the other side. How do you take this? You twist it or something? Okay. Looks like you can. Can you see anything? I really need this monitor to see what you can see. Well, that did nothing. What's the point of having screws when they don't do nothing? Just going to put this back. So I don't make the lens dirty. How do you leave this board? How do you even... Maybe you just remove all the screws. Do you need to remove the front also? And this would be a nightmare to assemble. Damn. How do you get to this one? There's also a hex screw in there, like all kind of screws. How do you get to those screws? I will just have to pause and get inside. Okay, so now I think I'm closer, so I will resume. There's a long ZIF socket. I see we have access to sensor screws. Yeah, but probably we don't need to move them yet. Let's see the bots. Probably we have to remove the sensor first. There's a screw that we don't have access to. I don't want to be the guy who is going to put this together, but okay. Here is the lens. Also, this part is now free. Now we should be able to lift the board. And here is the corner that was getting hot. Only need to disconnect the speaker. Can try to measure the capacitors on this side. This one is shorted. This one looks fine. Okay, let's test with thermal camera. So we need to connect the USB. Like this. So this big one is getting hot, and the rest is okay on the board. Okay, so the thing that is getting hot is an inductor. So I will take a look under the shield here. And let's see if anything else is getting hot. Only this inductor and this capacitor here. Okay, so let's try and take it off. Let's go under the microscope. So we are under the microscope. You can see it was this one that was getting hot, and we will try to remove it. Probably no need for a hot air, and just used a little bit of flux. Probably need to add some fresh solder. So I did remove it with the help of PD 210 soldering iron. Now I just have to clean this. I also used hot air to warm up the board, just 200 degrees at the whole board, because I don't want to melt the connectors. So now we can test it. And the short is gone. 300 milliamps. You can check if something else is getting warm on the board. As you can see, the board looks fine. I don't know if we need this cap. For now I want to pre-assemble it and test if it powers on. So what do we need? We need the power button. I will zoom you out. So we need the power button. We need the USB-C connector. And we need one display. Something like this. So now we need a power supply. And we can press the power button. I don't know if you can see it, but it's working. Of course we don't have image because the sensor is not connected. And something Deutsche. But I would say it's fixed. Oh shit. Okay, so I will disconnect it now because I don't want to tear any flexes. So I think I will put this together without this capacitor and test how it works. Should be fine because this is a power supply capacitor and for sure they've got spare ones everywhere. So how do one put this together? So we will probably need to start with the main board. Just like this. Then I would connect the speaker. This microphone here. And the power button. I think this small screw was here. Okay, so these were from the top. The other small was. Yep. And now the front screen flex can be connected. I think that the USB assembly can be put in one piece. Yes, and it also comes out in one piece, but I didn't know that, so the more you know. So now this part here is those two long screws. So now I think the sensor can go back in. We'll see. Here are the hex screws. Okay, so they are not magnetic. So we will have to do it upside down. Or not. Yeah. Okay, and the last one. Okay, so here was the small screw. Okay, so this Kapton tape is not helping. Okay, so now the power button, GPS board is connected. What else? Probably the next thing is the sensor, camera sensor, main camera sensor. Of course, as always, we have this Kapton tape. Okay, so now we have a sensor connected. Can bend this shielding. Oh no, it was going up. Okay, so now the shield for the sensor. Now we can glue the IME stuff. Okay, this goes here. Like that. So now we have this plastic part. That is probably for holding the sensor connector. And now this went here, and that went to the display. What else we have? We have the display ribbon. Like that. I need to check this hex screw because I'm not sure if I tighten it up. Yes, it's tight. What else? Now we can do the bottom part with the Torx. So this you don't have to take out. This was Torx 5. Where is it? It was this one. Or not, you know? It was 4. So also we can put back those screws. These you also don't have to take out because the sensor with the lens assembly is screwed with 3 screws here, here, here to this metal part. So if this metal part stays in place, then you can remove the lens to the back and this won't fall out as it did when I opened it up. Okay, so now the battery case. And for this you need to look at the connector, plug it in, and then push this all the way. And you can glue the connector for the display. And you're left with 4 screws. The long one goes to the through the shield all the way. These are magnetic, so that's a plus. And the last one. So we have no spare screws left. That means we did a good job. Now we only need to connect the screen and the touch. Push it back and do the final test. Plug it in, power on. As you can see, we have the picture. We also have the front screen. No, we need to press something. Why is it beeping? I don't know. So the screen seems to be working. Akku kaput. Can we go closer and still be in focus? Kein SD. Ja, jawohl, gut ist. Okay, so it's photo, time-lapse, video. Well, it will beep without SD probably. So I think it's fine. Thanks for watching and see you next time.